Hey fam, this is Tamara Taggart of Beyond Hypnosis. I am so glad to be back with you for another meditation circle. Well, today we are back in Reverend Ike's amazing book, Secrets for Health, Joy, and Prosperity for You. We are in chapter 32, and this is all about the power of fascination. Now, you know I am a hypnotherapist, and so hypnosis is all about fascination. So this is going to be a really exciting topic for me because I love to explain how the power of your mind works. And if you haven't noticed, we are definitely in a shift. There's some changes happening. There's some institutions that are starting to tumble, some old ways of thinking that are starting to be dismantled. And what this is going to do is open up room for folks who really hear me. You know who you are. This is opening up room for you to step up to your rightful place, to create a world that really works for everyone from a consciousness of the higher mind, one that is focused on love, on cooperation, on just making things work for everyone. A world that's free of nepotism and all those other isms and lies. A world that is living, vibing, creating, healing, and moving forward in our progress according to the laws of the Most High, which is all about correctness. I mean, real correctness. So forgive me for my little rant. I am just so excited about the shifts that are taking place. And for those of you who maybe don't hear me, maybe you don't get it, maybe you don't understand what I'm saying, it may not be for you. This might just be an exercise in mind science and positive psychology, helping you to manifest positive things in your life. Or if you are a part of that seed, this is going to plant something in you that will develop over time, and epiphanies will begin to happen for you. But anyway, this is for everyone. This is about the betterment of the world as a whole, righting things that have been cocked to the side for a long, long time. So anyway, let's get into chapter 32, the power of fascination with Reverend Ike. As a man thinketh, so is he. Proverbs 23:7. A science of living principle. God in you has given you the power of fascination. It's up to you to determine how you will use it. Just like any tool you have the free will. You get to decide how you're going to use that, right? Important. We always want to understand the definitions of the words that we're using. English can be a very tricky language. It's just made up of so many other languages. And our modern English has kind of tiptoed away from the true meaning behind the words. But the words have a certain vibrational frequency as well, and that's where the power lies. So we want to be very careful to make sure that we understand the meaning of words before we start to really use them. So fascination is an intense interest or enchantment with an idea, a person, or a thing. And fascination has power. Big power. Again, we tie this into hypnosis. Hypnosis isn't anything weird or strange or where anybody's going to take away your power or gain mastery over you, or all that's Hollywood. That has nothing to do with it. Hypnosis is a sort of deep meditation, a guided meditation that helps you to tune your fascination or your intense focus to get very familiar with the thing that you are trying to attain. Whether it's a goal, a health goal, a business goal, relationship goal, a goal where you want to raise your consciousness, a goal maybe where you want to be an empowering individual in the world. These goals are important and enriching, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to attain things. And we know that in this world, we need to manifest money in order to do a lot of things. You really can't help anybody if you don't have the resources to make things happen or to duplicate yourself so that you can be in other places at the same time. Money helps us to do this. Money helps us to demonstrate the enjoyment and the sharing and the giving of the wonderful things in the world. And so with this fascination that's very akin to deep prayer, hypnosis, meditation, there's a great deal of power. And that power comes from you. The kingdom of heaven is at hand. It's right here with you. There is power in fascination. It has power because whatever you're fascinated with, you become. Do you see that? Whatever you become fascinated with, you begin to take on the energy of that thing. You begin to vibrate with that thing because you are giving its energy, right? You are giving your energy and you are receiving its energy, and you become one. You start to vibe. You begin to take on the spirit or the energy of the thing. You become one with it. You become it. And this is where that power lies, right? You have to really feel it and walk in it and be it in order to achieve or experience it. You can't be separated from it and not be able to connect with the spirit or vibe with a thing in order to achieve it. Okay? So we'll go on with it. So you automatically draw that which you are fascinated with onto yourself. This is that quantum entanglement. This is that frequency of tuning and attunement. When things become entrained and start to vibrate as one, they come together. And this is what the law of attraction is speaking to. This isn't just a new age weird idea. This is scriptural. And this is just the way the world works. This is the way the Most High designed the world to work. Okay? You draw it. You be it. So be it good or evil. Whatever you are fascinated with will come into your experience. So when you have prolonged thoughts or ideas or emotions or feelings, whether they're good or bad, whether you're fearing it or you're loving it, whatever it is, you're focused on it. It gets so much of your attention. It is on its way into your life. Think about that. Whether it's good or bad, whether it's hurtful, whether it's beneficial, whether it's good for other people or for yourself, the moment you lock your attention on that, it's on its way. This is very important to understand, and that is how powerful you are. You see how powerful fascination is? Whatever the object of your fascination is, it will be magnetized to you. This isn't magic. This is science. This is the science that has always been with us. It's the absolute truth of the power of this human mind and the power of God within you that operates through your human mind. No magic, no spells, This is just the power of God within you. Now you get to decide whether you use it for good or for evil. It's just like money. You get to decide how you use that tool. And because it is a tool that is a part of who you are and you just do it naturally, isn't it a better use of it to use it positively, to benefit the people that you care about in the world, to benefit yourself, to be an example for those who are watching you? You get to decide where your attention goes. Power just flows. Pay attention to that. Be aware of that in your life. And know that that is who you are. Whatever things and ideas your mind power focuses on, it is going to manifest in your life. All right. Controlling that power of fascination. How do we work with it for our good? How do we make sure that we are creating positive things with this power of fascination that's just a part of who we are? How do we do that? Well, Reverend Ike tells us right here. He says, people use the power of fascination in many ways. Some people use the power of fascination negatively without even knowing it. It's important that you learn to control and direct your fascination because of its power. When you learn to direct your mental powers, when you learn to control your power of fascination, you can control all of your experiences. This is a big one here. You can control the power of your experiences by controlling the power of God within you, by learning how to direct that power with your fascination. And this is what the Bible means when it says, keep thy heart with all diligence, for out of it are all the issues of life. Proverbs 4:23. But now, because we have the World Wide Web and the Internet of Things, we see everything. And people can present everything. So we've got bad news on the internet constantly. We have horrible films that people are putting out. And yeah, even though these things are true, and maybe these are things that people have done, harmful, hurtful, heinous, or maybe things that people are projecting into the future. We see the speculative fiction that's talking about sci-fi, the dangers of the post-apocalyptic world where mankind has been destroyed and there's just a remnant. Some disease has wiped the world clean and all these horrible things. Now, when we become fascinated with those things, collectively, you have to begin to think about what are we using our collective power to do and to draw into our worlds. Now, certainly, everything is a possibility. But when we have this powerful collective fascination, which is so much more powerful than just one person's fascination, we collectively draw things into the world, do we not? So we might want to think about that. Just because these things are available for you to watch and become titillated about, to become freaked out about, or to speculate about, or fantasize about, does it really mean that you need to? Is it really going to be beneficial to you and the world by being a part of this mass fascination with horrific things? This is where responsibility comes in. And we're not taught the power of the mind, but it's so important that we begin to learn how to use it appropriately, because it is a power that can destroy, but it's also a power that can uplift and build the world that we need. a one that's filled with beauty and joy and health and vibrancy and the best aspects of human nature. So begin to think about this. This is very important. In my last video, I talked about the whole idea of being swept away or drawn into things that were negative, things that we call enemy, anything that's antagonistic, having unrealistic expectations about things. We need to know the truth about things. We can discern when something is negative and it is not beneficial. We don't have to kid ourselves about that. We know what those things are. But why do we have to give it all of our attention? Since whatever we give our attention to is what grows. You can discern what is going to be beneficial. But must we become fascinated with, titillated by the horrific things? That's where we have to step up and take responsibility and not be a part of the collective problems in the world by becoming so fascinated with them, watching them over and over, talking about them, writing about them, complaining about them. Wouldn't it be a better use of this power of fascination to focus on the beautiful things, the wonderful things, the aspects of the world that are so lovely, life-affirming, supportive, nourishing, uplifting? Something to think about. Now, Reverend Ike mentioned all these things that I just talked about, being fascinated with gore, with horrible accidents, the hedonistic things people have done and are doing in the world, harming one another. And if you're fascinated with these things, if you're the person that talks about them, that reads about them, that looks for them, and you answered yes to those questions he asked, he says, then you are using your power of fascination negatively. If you are fascinated by horror movies, if you are fascinated by morbid stories and frightening events, it's a matter of pure mind science that you are going to magnetize some of those horrible things to yourself. You must begin to use the power of fascination positively. The answer is within you, within the presence of God within you. Some people are fascinated with problems. They become enchanted by their problems. They give so much attention and power to their problems that they can't see anything but the problem. They even enjoy having problems. Now, sometimes you see people, and I see people in the Beyond Hypnosis practice, where they become so identified with the negative things in their life. They become so identified with the problems in their life that if you ask them, what do they want to experience instead of the problem, they can't even fathom it, because the problem, the person with the problem, is their identity. They can't even imagine who they'd be without it. And so Reverend Ike goes on to say, and because they are fascinated with their problems, they can't even see the answer. The answer is already within you, but you become fascinated with your problems instead of being fascinated with the answer, with the solution. The answer just can't come from you. It can't come to you because you are so enmeshed and fascinated with the problem. Make sense? Be fascinated with positives. Sometimes people become so fascinated by what they don't have, by the good that they're lacking, that they can't see the good that they have. Being fascinated by the presence of God, infinite good that is within you. Become fascinated by the power of God that is within you to achieve the good that you want to achieve. If you want to be a healthy person, become fascinated with health. Become intensely interested in the idea of health. What a concept, right? Become enchanted with the idea of health. Become enchanted with the ideas of what you do want, right? If you want to be successful, Reverend Ike says, become fascinated with success. Become intensely interested in successful people, in the whole art of success. You people who have not yet decided what you want to be, do, and have in life, think of the good that you want and become fascinated with the idea of being, doing, and having it. If you want to become a doctor, be fascinated with the idea. Look for a job in a doctor's office. Associate with people in the medical field. Study up on how to become a doctor. The Reverend Ike goes on to say, this reminds me of a man that I met a few months ago in California, who's in his early 30s and is the owner of a large automobile dealership. He told me, I first got a job here when I was a teenager. I even hiked my age up to get the job. He said, I was fascinated with the idea of selling automobiles. And I was fascinated with the idea of having my own automobile dealership. So I started here, scraping up the grease and sweeping up the dirt. But while I was doing that, I watched the mechanics working and I watched the people in the offices. I watched the boss as he moved around the company. Through the years, that man rose in the ranks of the company. And when the owner retired, he sold the company to him. And that man, he was so fascinated with success that he became a success. What do you want? Become fascinated. Surround yourself with it. Spend time with those who are doing what you want to do. Envelope yourself in it. Remember, pray believing that you have it. In the Aramaic, pray being enveloped in it and you shall have it. Surround yourself with it. This is the science behind the vision board. I ask all of my clients, create a vision board. Some do, some don't. But the ones that do are the most successful. It's a subconscious programming. You are being subconsciously programmed by all those things that we talked about before. The movies, the books, the blogs, all the stuff that's speaking the negative over and over. You're being programmed by that. You're becoming fascinated with it. So why not program yourself through your own environment and just envelope yourself with all the wonderful things that you want in your life? Post them up, images of them up in a vision board, a big poster that you have in your space. Watch movies, read books, read blogs, watch YouTube videos about positivity, about the good in the world that you want to see, that you want to create for yourself. You get to decide. The same way that that man manifested the good that he desired, so can you, says Reverend Ike. Whatever good you want to experience, get fascinated with it. Get fascinated Get fascinated with the riches of life, the health, the happiness, the love, the success, the prosperity, the money. Forget about whether or not you deserve it. You are a child of God. You deserve every good thing. Become fascinated with it. You're not planning on taking anything from anybody. You become fascinated and you become attractive to it. You begin to bring it along your own energy fields with your own volition. You don't have to wait for somebody to hand it to you or give it to you. You don't have to take it from somebody else. Become fascinated and it will come. In fact, whatever it is that you're fascinated with is on its way right now. Get fascinated with the riches, the health, the vibrancy, the love, the success, the prosperity, and yes, the money. Money is a tool that you get to use however you like. Yes, get fascinated with being the good that you want to be, with doing the good that you want to do, with having the good that you want to have. And your power of fascination will magnetize all that good into your life. It will begin to come into your experience. And the only thing that can keep it from is your vacillation. Right? With your vacillation of going back and forth, being fascinated with the good or being fascinated with the problem. Fascinated with the good, fascinated with the problem. This kind of back and forth focus slows down your progress. So the goal is to stay focused. Keep your mind stayed on the good that you want. Don't go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Reminds me of that idea of the little girl saying if somebody loved her or loved her not, and she has a flower, so she's plucking at the petals. He loves me not. He loves me not. He loves me not. As if this flower is going to tell her. The focus is on what you want. Keeping your attention away from what you don't want. Why pay attention to the not? Pay attention and become fascinated with, fall in love with what you do want and desire for yourself. Yes. Yes. Quotes to remember. Mere enthusiasm is the all in all. William Blake. There is power in fascination to bring the good you want into your life. Reverend Ike. Ready for the affirmative prayer treatment? All right. I want you to just get yourself into a really good mode first. Push out all negativity. We ain't got time for that. You are learning that you are a magnet of whatever it is you are focusing your attention on. So you might as well begin to use it for your good. Take a deep breath. Yes. And I want you to repeat with me, line for line. Right here and right now, I decide to use my power of fascination positively. I am fascinated with success. I am fascinated with prosperity. I am fascinated with love. I am fascinated with happiness. I am fascinated with health. My positive, powerful fascination for these good things multiplies good things in my experience. Thank you, Mother, Father. Thank you, God in me. Yes. Yes. Did you feel that? Feel it. You become that which you focus on. You become that which you surround yourself with. Even the people in your life. We're always told to take a look at the 5 people that we spend most of our time with. Would you see those people as successful, as positive, as living the life that you want to live? Be honest. If not, it's time to get some new friends. It's time to surround yourself with positivity that's going to catapult you and draw to you that which you want most in your life. There's no time for negativity. You get to choose. This was fantastic. One of my favorite subjects. So I look forward to hearing from you. Need a coaching session to kind of help get past maybe some of these blocks and let go of the negativity habit? I got some hacks for you. And if you're not a member and you haven't gone over to patreon.com/Beyond Hypnosis yet, consider becoming a member, supporting this mission to make it easier for me to create more and more positive content to support you on your journey of being who you were meant to be. And I just thank you. This is all the time we have today. Members, I'll see you over at Patreon, and just take good care. And I haven't said this in a while, but I think this is so apropos that the most important thing that Grandma always said was to get that head together, and your ass will definitely follow. The first thing is to get this consciousness right. And everything else, all these things that you wish to experience in your world, will follow. But the alternative is also true. So we must choose the good, enrich the good, be a part of the good, and begin to live that in our lives. Until next time, peace and blessings. Mwah.